Alright, let's get into some viewer questions. Today we've got a great one from Blip44, who asks about hand watering cocoa in an AutoPot system during the early stages of growth. First off, thanks for the support, Blip44. I'm glad you're enjoying this series. Now, let's dive into your question. At day 8, it sounds like your seedlings are right on track, so great job so far. Cocoa does retain moisture really well, especially when hydrated properly from the start. So that 4-day gap between waterings might not be as unusual as it seems. When I'm hand watering cocoa, during the early stages, I focus on keeping the medium evenly moist, not soaked. I usually water every 1 to 2 days, but it depends on your environment. Things like temperature, humidity, and airflow can influence how quickly the cocoa dries out. Since you mentioned it feels damp after 4 days, I recommend waiting until the top inch feels dry before watering again. Overwatering at this stage can actually slow root development. Now, regarding the roots, you're absolutely right that in an AutoPot system, you want to encourage the roots to grow deep and reach the bottom of the pot before you switch the reservoir on. That is why it's better to water less but more often during the seedling stage. This gradual approach encourages the roots to seek out moisture, promoting a strong, healthy root system that will thrive once the AutoPots are fully activated. It sounds like you're doing great so far, so just remember to monitor how the cocoa feels and adjust based on your plant's needs. And don't worry too much about the timing. Every setup is a little different, and so trust your process and keep observing. You got this. Alright, here's another question from William Harvey 6204, who asks, 1 to 2 milliliters per gallon, what is the percentage of H₂O₂, Nova? Good question. The hydrogen peroxide I'm using is a 3% solution, which is a standard concentration you'll find in most stores. I add 1 to 2 milliliters per gallon to my setup to help keep everything clean and prevent any biofilm and ensure that my reservoir in the humidifier stays free from any buildup. Alright, good question. Next one. Next up, we got a question from Maleficent Court 431, who's thinking about switching a CropSalt and has a great question about it. First off, you're absolutely right. CropSalt is an efficient concentrate nutrient line and it lasts longer compared to other brands like Canna. Now, let's tackle your specific questions. Do you need to run bleach in the reservoir? No, you don't have to run bleach in the reservoir, but some growers like to use it to prevent biofilm or algae to build up in their hydro systems. Personally, I don't use bleach with CropSalt because I keep my setup clean with regular maintenance by monitoring conditions. If you decide to use bleach, it's best to use small diluted amounts, only when necessary. Can you use additives like Grow Genius Silica with CropSalt? Yes, absolutely. I use Grow Genius Silica myself and it works perfectly alongside CropSalt. It's great for strengthening a plant's structure, especially during veg and early bloom. Just make sure you mix silica into your water first before adding CropSalt or any other nutrient line. The beauty of CropSalt is that it's flexible. You can customize your feed with compatible additives to suit your growth need. If you're thinking about making a switch, I'd say go for it, and don't hesitate to experiment with what works for you and your plants. Use Novacotton at the CropSalt website and you get 10% off. And that's it for the questions. I hope that helps, guys.
Midnight and the planes just